Hey, what's up? So I was just creating a video on what I thought about the new Captain America title, which is Brave New World. And the video is over here. So after this, you can actually go and watch it. So after making that video is when I'm making this video, because I thought about the problem with Marvel currently. Because we've seen the news, we've seen everyone talk about how Marvel is panicking, how they may dump Kang and have Doctor Doom. You've seen all these clickbaity headlines and stuff, and I thought about the current state of Marvel. And for me, it's less about hating on superhero movies and just talking about what it is, because we are all talking about superhero fatigue, but it's not superhero fatigue. It's just superhero movies trying to be progressive, forgetting that they're comic book movies. They're supposed to be entertaining. It's just about entertainment. Yes, you need social commentary, but I think the only comic book story that does social commentary very well is Spider-Man. And Spider-Man, everything is interweaved into the story. So whether it's any other form of social commentary, like living conditions, how we treat our old parents or our relationship with our parents, it's interwoven into the Spider-Man story. So Spider-Man feels down to earth and feels relatable because the foundation of the story is that it's a very relatable story. That's the foundation. They did not have a different Spider-Man story and then tried to remake it in order to suit that particular story. So their foundation, they knew their foundation clearly. They knew that Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is a struggling character. That is the foundation of that story. Peter Parker was not like Tony Stark. He was not a rich guy who was very comfortable. And then with time they decided, you know what? Because we want this to be relatable, let's make Peter Parker struggling. That's not how it works. Because it's a comic book. And it's not the foundation of the story. If you look at another character, which is Tony Stark. Tony Stark is a rich character. He's a wealthy character. And his story, again, his foundation is interwoven into that. His attitude, everything about him, he's just, the idea of being so wealthy has led him to become who he is. They did not have a struggling Tony Stark, and then with time they decided, people can't relate to a rich guy. Let's try to make him a struggling character so that people can like him. The foundation. And everything is based on those comic books. So I think what Marvel has forgotten is that if you're making an Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, yes, it's important for you to be diverse and to be inclusive. But do not forget, as much as we like to see ourselves in these movies, sometimes, and the most important thing, and why we pay to go to the cinemas, is to just be entertained. You get? So when you try to cram in everything and try to please everyone, you're obviously going to lose a lot of people. Do I need to go into this movie? Yeah, I can go into this movie actually. Let's talk about this movie, The Eternals. You see, The Eternals is a perfect recipe for success because it has everything. It has a gay character, it has an Asian character, it has an African-American character who is a scientist, because you want black people to be portrayed in a certain way. And so you lean towards that. It has a female director. That's perfect, right? No, it's not perfect, because you forget, we don't care about that. We just want to see the Eternals. We just want to see some crazy concepts. We just want to see some crazy action set pieces. Yes, there are people who will go there for the cinematic experience, to actually see a generally deep story. But whether the character is black, white, yellow, blue, transgender, straight, or whatever, that doesn't really matter. It's the story that matters. Is this an entertaining story that at no point does it attract attention to itself? By that I mean that at no point do we say, oh, that's a gay character, or at one point do we say, that's a black character, that's a successful black character. I know image politics in America is important. You have the right and the left. I don't know. I know your politics is complicated, but at the end of the day, what truly matters is entertainment. And I think that's why John Wick works. The last John Wick movie is still one of my favorite movies out of this year, because they understood what they were and they actually worked on that and improved on that. They didn't go like, oh, now because it's the fourth movie in the John Wick series, we need to have a gay character, we need to have an African American black woman. We need to have a Chinese character. Yes, they do. But if you look at how they are applied, they are interwoven into the story so much that they don't attract attention to themselves. You see, a character like, it makes sense to have a character like Donier in the movie because he also adds a lot of value to the story. There's the black guy with the dog, the tracker. It makes sense for him to be like that. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like, oh, we needed diversity, so let's add this particular character to add a bit of that. It doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like Donier was there for the Asian market. Yes, we know that it was from a business point of view, but his character plays a role in all this. He plays a role in the story. He's a pivotal part of the story. And so Marvel, for me, I think they leaned towards more of, oh, we can make more money if we now try to appeal to everyone. You know, do we care about the fans that supported us in the beginning? Yeah, we already have those guys in the bag, so now we can do everything we want with whatever that we have, so that we try to bring in as more people as possible. And that, again, is because of streaming, because how it works is that, you know, streaming is watching from home, so everyone is going to be watching the content, because now it's not movies anymore, it's content. Because for streaming, they want as much, you know, production, as many productions as possible. So they're not movies anymore, they're just content. And so content is designed to be consumed by as many people as possible. So I think I don't know what happens in Disney. I don't know who makes the laws. I don't even know if Kevin Feige is still working at Disney. He may not actually be functional, because for me, how it feels like Feige was stripped off some of his powers, because he was stripped off some of his ability to actually control the production, because it doesn't feel like Kevin Feige. You know, Kevin Feige, as well, if you look at his portfolio from the beginning, he has always been true to the comic books. From the first X-Men movie, from the Blade movie, he understands the nature of comic books. He understands what people like about comic book movies. And we're not seeing that with this latest production. You know, we're not seeing that in the latest movie, because it feels like there's someone else sitting somewhere saying, we need more black people, we need Asian people, we need a gay character, we need this in this particular production. And yet, there's another group, maybe Kevin Feige and the creative people are going like, okay, if that's what you're saying and you're the boss, let's have that. And so you get to see, anyway, I don't want to go into that. What was I talking about? I was talking about generally Marvel losing its way in terms of just telling good stories, you know. As far as the future, in terms of the big bad, Kang is not the problem. Kang is not the problem. The problem with Marvel currently is just how they write their stories. Because there's a lot of potential. Jonathan Majors is a perfect character for that. He's a perfect actor for that particular character. He has the look, he has the charisma, he has the ability to play all these other characters. And this has nothing to do with diversity. He's just a good actor. Now put him in a good story whereby you're not trying to please everyone. You're going like, okay, we have this comic book works like that. We can change one or two things. Our objective is make it as entertaining as possible. Yes, it might not align with what is currently being called progressive, but as long as it's entertaining, you're going to get more people to come through, because the Marvel fans have always been there. I mean, there's a reason why Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame made such a shitload of money. There's a reason why Wakanda, Black Panther made a lot of money. Because Wakanda did not make a lot of money because of the black audiences only. Let's be honest to ourselves. There are other groups that went to see that movie. That's why it made so much money. And that's because Marvel was trying. The Marvel fan base is always there for Marvel. And I think Marvel need to step back and actually remember that. Remember their fans. Remember what they need. Remember what Kevin Feige needs to go back to the 90s and early 2000s. I'm not saying that they should make movies like that, but they should try to remember those formulas that they used back then. They should go back to the Iron Mans, whereby you make a movie solely for entertainment purposes, because they're coming from a comic book, man. They're supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to remind me about, it's not supposed to preach to me or start judging me on what I'm supposed to do, who I'm supposed to accept in my life, or I'm supposed to feel this way about these particular people. Don't try to influence my decision in the real life. Just make a goddamn entertaining movie. That's what I want to pay for. So basically, that's what I thought about the current state of Marvel. Please do not mess Kang up. Just rewrite Kang in a better story. And stop. I'm not going to say stop. You are yet to establish Kang as a big bad. It doesn't feel like he's a big bad. I don't think we've seen the big bad yet, and that's what people are having a problem with. I think you should start introducing one Kang who we are genuinely afraid of. Because so far, I'm not scared of any Kang. Of the guys that I've seen, I think you're still Marvel. If Kevin Feige, you're watching this, you're playing too safe. I am not afraid of these characters. I don't feel it doesn't excite any, like, whoa, how are they going to handle this? Yes, that moment in Ant-Man works, but you still get just a touch of all these many people. But there are a lot of personalities. You don't have that one character I go like, yeah, this is messy. And again, that's what I keep saying, trying to ponder to a certain group, because the Kang doesn't feel, he lacks the presence, because then his story is always interwoven with all these other things, because you're also trying to elevate all these other characters and try to put other characters on his level so that other people can relate to those characters. Why can't you just make a badass character? Just have that one badass character that comes maybe in the next Marvel show or movie and wipes out everything. I mean, can you imagine if the third Ant-Man movie, he just came in and destroyed everyone, just cleaned out the house, decided to destroy everything, and then maybe they'll survive, but they will barely survive, and then now go out there terrified because they saw something way more dangerous than they thought it would be. Anyway, basically that's it. That's what I thought about Marvel. Kevin Feige, if you're watching this, man, there was a time I used to think that you could do no wrong, man. But you need to get back control of your movies, man. Miss Marvel, the Marvels are coming up. I'm obviously going to see them. Why? Because of Nick Fury and Cats. I love Cats. But I don't know. And I also love Kamala Khan. You see, here's the thing. Kevin Feige has always been vocal about making a female-led Avengers movie. But I don't think this is the way to go. Because you're trying to force all these characters into people's mouth. You're trying to force the characters into everything rather than just letting them grow organically. You see, Endgame and Infinity War grew 100% organically. It grew over 10 years. Slowly. You build everything very, very, very slowly. And eventually we got there. But you want us to actually love all these female characters in a span of what? 3-4 years? Of course you're not going to like them. And Captain Marvel supposed to be the one supposed to lead the next Marvel phases. Make them likable. I'm not talking about the actor, I'm talking about the writing. Just make the characters likable. For me, Kamala Khan is my favorite character, by the way. I think she's very relatable. I think she has just that sense of wonder and awkwardness that comes with her that makes her a much lovable character than all the other Marvels that we have. I'm not hating. I'm not talking about her being from a certain group in a country. And you see, that's the problem. That's the issue that we have with all these productions that are coming. Kamala Khan, I know that in the comics she's from a certain part of the world, but we should not be discussing that. That is not what we should be looking at. The same problem that Blue Beetle had is a Mexican character. No, that's not supposed to be the main thing. The main thing is supposed to be the story. And Kamala Khan and the Marvels, if they're not talking about, we're going to have this epic moment in the movie, or you should look forward to this and focus on more of. There's a short that I did. I talked about the Marvels, and I thought that they tapped into 3 major things. They tapped into ageism, they tapped into racism, and they tapped into gender. female, young character, black African American. I know you'll say whatever you want to say. I'm not talking about gender politics, but just look at it. It's a bit obvious. It's on your face. You get the younger audiences, you get the African American audiences, then you get women. And then for the guys, you get Nick Fury. And then for the animal people, you get the cats. Perfect business plan. But what's the story? What's going to excite me about this particular movie? So basically that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. Thanks for watching. I usually review movies and talk about pop culture stuff. Please subscribe, join the family, be part of us, and so that we can continue discussing about comic book movies and all the other movies. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Please you can click on this and just watch.